receive, I achieve. Baby, I'm ready. Told me not to be outlandish. Knew that I could lead outstanding. I see the
attractive? Not necessarily. But there's nothing here. And I've been here, I have not dated one single person from this area in the entire time I've lived here. Not because I couldn't. It's because everybody is attracted to a certain type of person. Well, that person ain't here. Okay? And I don't go out looking. And I have adjusted very well to living single. And we're going to go over the cons, pros and cons of this. And let me tell you, the cons are very few, very, very few that I've found out. I don't know how to say this and without hurting some feelings, and I guess there's no way to say it without hurting feelings, but the problem today is women and men, and I was one of them, are just too overweight. I don't find overweight people attractive. I was not attracted to, I still ain't, but hey, anybody that's overweight, it is not an attractive feature, okay? You do not want to wake up in the morning and roll over and grab your spouse and have to open your arms this wide.
Happy Sunday. Good morning, good morning. Y'all, good morning. Listen, I just had to get on here. Today is Sunday. Welcome to Authentically Lee, where real talk happens. You guys, I've been trying to think of different contents and things like that for my live, right? For my live when I go live on YouTube. And so I've been looking at YouTube videos, trying to see, what people over 50 are talking about, especially the men. I've been searching for men lately and trying to figure out what they're talking about. So I ran across this one guy and I'm actually watching him now, and I had to get on here and tell y'all. His name, go to his channel when you get an opportunity and watch the one that says Dating Over 50, Here's Why I Opted Out. That's what it's called. And I know I can't play his video, I guess, on my channel, so I'm not even going to attempt to do that. But I thought some things that he said were very, very interesting. And these are things that people, don't want to hear. But let me see. His name, his channel is Al-Chita, and it's OUACHITA Mountain Living. Al-Chita Mountain Living. That's how I'm pronouncing it. Awa, O-U-A, Uachita, C-H-I-T-A, Mountain Living. And I don't know how to pronounce it, but it could be Awachita Mouachita, Mountain Living. That's the name of his channel. But y'all, when I tell you this man, he says some things that I've never heard a man really say. They've like talked in general about women and the things that you have to go. I don't want to spoil everything, but I just want y'all to know. Like, he talked about why he's single and why he liked being single. He also talked about, he's over 50, but he also talked about like how people just have to be with somebody, and he hit the nail on the head when he said that you get some people that get out of a relationship and get right back into another. Do you know what I mean? They get out of one and they get right back into another. And I don't have my mic right now, y'all, but there's not a lot of noise, I don't think. You hear him in the background. And they don't even realize, you know, why they got into a different relationship so soon, because they haven't had time to get over the previous one. And then they get into the new one trying to figure out what it is about this person that I shouldn't have gotten involved with in the first place. What is it about him or her? And he also talked about how women plaster makeup all over their face. He was like, he as a man don't really like that. He was like, social media has ruined relationships. That was something that he talked about, which is true. Social media does ruin relationships. He was like, don't get me wrong, there was cheating back in the day or whatever, but I think when he talks about ruin, he talks about just comparison. I feel like he's kind of referring to comparing people to people and that type of thing. He talked about the eyelashes out to the windshield. He was just like, they look like aliens. He said women who wear eyelashes, and that's what made it funny to me. Women who wear eyelashes just way, way, way out there. He was like, they look like aliens. He was like, no man wants that. I thought that was a touchy topic. And I know not everybody's going to agree with me on this, because a lot of people be like, this is beauty and blah, 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 blah. But whatever. Like, we're just talking about people over 50. We're not talking about the younger generation where that is like the norm or the fad or whatever it's called, you know. But he talked about hairstyles. He was like, you know, one woman will go out and get a hairstyle, and then next thing you know, all the women, you know, have the same hairstyle. Well, he's basically telling the truth, because everybody's got that bust down part. And I'm just speaking of the black culture. I don't know what the white women do, but I'm speaking of the black culture. But most girls have the bust downs in the middle, the side, the sideburns or whatever, the edges. And they all look alike. All of them go get wig installs. Nobody really gets their hair done anymore. I am the one to talk, because I keep braids or weave. So that's just my jam over there. I will go natural though. You know, I will go natural, but he was like, everybody just has like the same hairstyle. Everybody just like looks the same. He talked about overweight. He was like, overweight is not attractive to him. He was like, women that are overweight, men that are overweight, is just not attractive to him. He was like, he will never date a woman that's overweight. He said nobody wants to roll over and deal with an overweight person. He didn't use fat or anything like that. He just said overweight. And he has his preference. You know what I mean? He has his preference. I know that in our culture, in the black culture, you know, men like a little thickness. You know, that's just what it is. They like a little woman with meat on her bones, and they call it thick. And I used to hear all the time, don't nobody want a bone but a dog, and because he ain't gonna do nothing but bury it. Like, I used to hear that. That's just a little saying. So that's the preference of the person. But I just thought it was very, very real of him to just be real about what it is he didn't like. And we women have to take that. Like, I mean, we say all the time, we want a man that's tall, but a man can't help that his growth spurt stopped at 5'11", or 5'6", or whatever. He can't help his height, you know, just like we can't help our color. But you do have a preference, you know what I mean? You have a preference, and there's nothing wrong with having a preference. I say all that to say, the preference is a choice, or when you have a preference, that's just a choice in anything that you want, including being single. You know what I mean? He had a bunch of comments that were saying, I'd rather be, you know, alone than with the wrong person. People who move too fast. realized that, 6 months to a year down the line, the person that they got with, they realized, that shouldn't have been who they got with, because they wish they had known some things about them before they got too involved too fast. And he's basically telling the truth. That is the truth. He listed some cons about being single, but he was just like, I don't think I will ever be in another relationship. I think he said he was married twice and they didn't work out. He said in his heydays, when he was like in his 30s and 40s, he wasn't a good person in terms of just being in a faithful and committed relationship. So those were his faults, and he realized his flaws. He realized them, and he took accountability for them. But just some of the things that he mentioned about the dramatic parts of being a woman, like we cover. He said he doesn't want anybody with a mask on, and that's true. If you can't go out in your regular face, because he was like, you probably look better in your regular face. He said back in his day, that just wasn't the thing. They didn't just wear a whole lot of makeup and everything. And he's right, because during the pandemic, all this face beating started, and I'm again speaking of the Black culture. I don't know what culture he's talking about. I'm gonna have to assume it's the white, because he's white, and I'm sure that's what he's attracted to. He didn't let it be known, but I'm sure that's what he's talking about in his experience. I'm quite sure, but I don't know for a fact, so don't quote me on that, because you can only speak about things that you have experience in, But we as a culture, we take things to the extreme. I mean, when I first watched a video vlog of a woman putting on makeup, and it took 2 hours, and they called it beating their face. Their whole skin tone here is a whole different color from here. I'm talking about shades different. I'm not talking about just slight difference, but shades. 2 and 3 foundations and powders and liquids and shadow and blush and highlighter and concealer. And I mean, it just went on and on and on. And I know it was during the pandemic, because that's when I sat down long enough to watch a video. Now, I know people are going to come for me and be like, well, they're going to be nasty, which is okay, because sticks and stones, baby. I don't really worry about what people say about me at all. That's never been a problem for me. I've been talked about my entire life. But when I say embrace your beauty, whatever it is, when you're looking in the mirror, you need to make sure that what's looking back at you, you love it. And I mean, my friend has a daughter that says she loved the mirror and the mirror loved her. Like, that is so true. You know what I mean? If you feel that way. You're not going to be appealing to everybody, but why would you want to be? I don't want to love everybody that love on me. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want everybody that want me. And vice versa, But social media has gotten it to the point where people are just so insecure about who they are and how they look and what they wear and what their body look like, that they forget how to be a human being. You're a human being first. And there's nothing wrong with enhancing yourself. Like I said, it's a catch-22. Because do I want to go to work looking like this? No. I want to put on some lipstick. I want to put on some, for my dark circles, I want to put on some concealer. I want to put on some eyeliner because my eyes, around my eyes, I just look like I'm lifeless in the eyes. I want to put on mascara. So I've named about 4 things that I would love to put on my face and I would like to wear when I'm out in public. But can I go to work looking like this as well? Can I? Yes. Will I? No. That's what I'm saying. And if I'm on here doing a video where anybody can see it, that means that people have seen me in the freaking, flesh and no makeup or anything like that, then I feel like everybody should be able to do that. You're not appealing to everybody, but you are appealing to somebody. Somebody will like it. And it shouldn't even be somebody. It should be you. You should like it. We are our worst critics, right? We are our worst. But at the same time, we should love ourselves the most. Like, we should love ourselves the most. Like, I love me, like, the most. But I just wanted to get on here because I thought that it was super funny what he said, but it was real. Like, it was coming from a man's point of view. So I'm not giving him all the credit, but I can respect what he's saying coming from him. That is his choice, his preference. That's his thoughts. I always realize people who get mad about certain things, a hit dog will holler. So when you mad about it, there's some guilt there. There's some truth in it, and there's some guilt there. So don't get mad. Like, if your comment is going to be a comment, you're well within your rights to put your comments down there, and I'm well within my rights to read them or delete them. But I can take it because you're not talking to me. You're talking to yourself, who hasn't dealt with who you are. You know what I mean? You're not talking to me. You're projecting, but you're not talking to me. I'm only simply reiterating what this man has said. Some of it, in my opinion, is true. Why would you hide your mask, but you want hide behind this mask, but you want this man to be real? That don't make sense. Or you talk about the men who go out here and get the fake hairlines now. Well, why are you talking about them? Your hair is fake, woman. My hair, this is fake. My hair ain't but this long. So that's what I'm saying. If you gonna dish it, you need to be able to take it too. But you also need to be able to walk out of the house confident, with your head held high, knowing that you are beautiful from within. If it don't flow to everybody on the outside, well, this ain't no popularity contest. Probably when I was I wish I had known back when I was in my 20s and 30s that I didn't need to be validated by people. I didn't know that back then. And that is something that I have learned over time through trial and error, through, malicious comments, just through things that the average person probably would just be like, oh my God. Kids were mean in school, it's a lot, but it also thickens your skin. Like, God didn't make no junk. He made me. He ain't make no junk. He loves me, and I love me. So on the physical side, we are all going to get old. There's nothing 100% attractive physically about getting old or about being older. We get wrinkles. Yeah, we become less attractive when we get older. The wrinkles, and then I'm just speaking from a physical standpoint, because the older I get, the wiser, smarter, and more beautiful I get from within. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm loving on myself more, and that's more than looks could ever compete with. So the older we get, the less attractive physically we do become. Eat that. That's fine. But you also can become a better person with your way of thinking about getting old. I want to embrace 55 and beyond. I'll be 55 in March. I just turned 54 in March 4 months ago. And here I am already talking about 55. Well, I just know 55 is a retirement type, AARP type stuff. You can get some stuff, so I'm just looking for my advantages at 55 years old, and my benefits. But, so anyway, I just thought I'd get on here and tell you guys that you need to go follow him, or just go look at that video. You don't necessarily have to follow him, because I think he talks about mountain living and cabin living and stuff like that I know I ain't interested in. So that's never gonna, God willing, that's never gonna, I don't want to live in a cabin or nothing like that. But just hearing it from a man that is over 50, that is being true to himself. He said he ain't never gonna want to deal with a woman that's overweight. He just not. That's his preference. That's his choice. And he said even when he was a big man, he said he still didn't want a woman that was overweight. How dare you? But again, that's his choice. All I'm saying is you have a choice. Everybody has a choice. You don't have to do what society has set up in your mind from the internet that looks right, or that looks correct, or that is the right thing. Like, I will never let the internet tell me what's right or what's wrong. You know what I mean? For me. So don't be influenced by that type of stuff. But I was going to say, before I started rambling, because sometimes I'll be all over the place, because being an Aries, I be so passionate. When I'm passionate about something, it comes up before I think about how I'm gonna say it. Like I jumble my words and I jumble my thoughts. So a lot of times I am all over the place. When I slow down and I think about it, then I can go back and reiterate what I was saying, or just kind of go back over what I was saying. But what I was saying was, when I was in my 20s and 30s, I used to let people validate me, whether I look good or I don't to them. I used to go all out my way to go shopping or to get my hair together or just stay put together, because I was afraid. Not that I didn't enjoy looking good, because I like looking good. I like putting on clothes and I like looking good. I've always been a confident person. Just no matter where I was, I've always been confident no matter what. I don't care who was in the room. I could sit at any table. That's just how I feel. But when it came to meeting men, I used to let that validate me. Like, oh, does he think I'm cute? Or I would feel like a man is ashamed of me if he didn't ask me to out. Like if he didn't ask me to go anywhere. I need some, hold on. If he didn't take me out on a date, I felt like he was ashamed to be with me in public. Have you ever felt like that? Like, why we don't go out? Why we house date? So that's why a long time ago I said I don't house date. We got to be out. I mean, not so people can see us, but we just need to be out. Don't be hiding me if you don't want to be with me. And some men are like that. Some men will be like, yeah, behind closed doors, you are a one-hit wonder. I love you. But if we got to be in public, they never take you out. That's a red flag, ladies. And if he ain't got no money to take you out, then he don't need to be dating you. Because y'all can share the date. I don't feel like a man has to pay every time we go out, because we're both dating. So it's advantageous for both of us to be able to share our entertainment together. Like share the cost of our entertainment, share the expenses of our entertainment, because I'm being entertained, he's being entertained. We're both benefiting from this. So I've always been able to be like, oh, let me, if a guy take me on a date, on the first date, and he don't know, but at the end of the day, I'll be like, I got the check. Now you got some men who will be like, well, I insist. I don't want you to pay. I'm going to go ahead and pay. So I appreciate that too. I'm not going to argue with you over the check, but to show you my gratitude and taking time out to spend with me, maybe if the date was going great and it went just awesome and I already know I want to see you again, I definitely will pick up the tab, because I ain't never going to ask nobody to take me nowhere where I can't take myself. So I believe in sharing a date. I really do. Like, I think that's, maybe you take care of it the first time, or maybe I will, and then the next time, the vice versa, but we share the, or if I ask you, hey, let's go see a movie, or let's go to a concert, I probably already got the tickets, and that type of thing. And maybe you buy the drinks when we're out and I done bought the tickets. It's a give and take, because we're both benefiting from it. You know what I'm saying? The broke people are the ones who, I'm not paying for nothing, and he need to pay for me to get that's the young generation. No, older women don't do that. You got to pay for me to get my hair done to go on a date with you, or you got to pay for me to get my nails done and go on a date with you. I see that stuff on social media, which I need to stay off of, because it's the devil, because it had me thinking, are you serious? These women out here are doing this? They're making us look so bad. Now I did, when I was younger, when I would date, I had a baby. So I used to be like, if I'm gonna go on a date with you, I need a babysitter. So you got to help me pay the sitter. You got to pay the sitter. Like that's just, he wanted to take me out. He wanted to spend time with me, and he was taken away from me being with my child. Yeah, I had men to agree to pay the sitter so that we can go out. Hold on, I got a text. So y'all, today I'm hanging out with the fellas at 2:40. We got a reservation. That's what they're texting about. We got a reservation today to hang out with them. It's kind of like a reunion, because I haven't seen all three of them in one room. Gosh, it's been a minute, and I haven't seen them individually in at least a year, I think. So I'm having a hot flash. That's that coffee. But yeah, so back then, that's what I would do. I would say, if you want to take me out, my son, I need a babysitter for my son, so you gonna pay the $20? And they would be like, yeah, I'm gonna pay it. Okay, well then we can go out, But to ask a man to get my hair done so we can go out, come on, man, that's just ridiculous. Or to freaking get my nails done so that we can go out, that's asinine, ladies. You know, but I feel like that's the young people, and I feel like they're not going to be on my channel. But I just feel like that's just total asinine now. But that's just me. That's my opinion. And like I said, if you come and say something, please be respectful. You know what I mean? Because that's what I'm doing. I'm being respectful. I'm not gonna get in no twist and tongue match with you about nothing. I don't do stuff like that. And I don't have to love your comment. You know, we can agree to disagree for sure. Like, everybody has their own opinion. I believe in having your own DNA, making your own decisions, stating your own opinion. I believe in that. But don't try to force your opinion on me by being rude about how you say things. You know, we don't need that type of banter on here. We respect each other. We're over 50, like, for real, like, you know. But anyway, that's it for now. I'm about to get ready. I'm actually not gonna get ready yet. It's just 12 o'clock. I'll probably start getting ready around, well, yeah, maybe 1. It'll take me like 20 minutes to get there. Y'all, I'm trying to set up my other 3rd bedroom, like, and turn it into like a little studio. Like, so for instance, I'm trying to work TikTok, right? I don't know how to work TikTok. I just got on TikTok, like, maybe a month ago. And I only have like 2 things or 3 things out there, right? Because I just never got into TikTok. I just never got into it. But to help with traction, because I got some followers on TikTok already. I mean, they might be people that already know me. So anybody that follows me, I follow them back. That's even on Instagram. I don't even do Instagram like that. If it wasn't for Facebook migrating my videos or my pictures to Instagram, my Instagram wouldn't really be anything on there. I started Instagram when I started the jewelry, but Facebook has been just my niche. You know what I'm saying? My jam, not my niche, my jam. It's just easier, and I understand it, and I understand YouTube better than I do TikTok and Instagram. And I think it's because it's the shorts, and it's the, like, I don't know if you could do a long video on TikTok. I haven't even explored it like that. But I say all that to say, I'm trying to set up my 3rd bedroom as a kind of like a vlog or a studio room. I'm going to put a day bed in there. I'm going to put some mirrors in there because, you know, after I get dressed, I be wanting to show y'all how I look in the mirror, but I don't think that's the way to go. I think I just need to set up the camera and just get in front of it and, you know, do a little whatever. And the only reason why I'm doing that is because I do like my own style and fashion. So I'm not a fashionista by no means. I don't even have an eye for a look, but I like what I like. And so as a part of my content creating, I'm going to start showing what I wear when I go out, I guess. I mean, those that are interested are fine. Not, don't worry about it. But this is dressing like in my age genre. Like, it's not go by this and go by that, you know. I'm 5'9", and I weigh 208, I think, pounds, something like that. So 5'9", 208, something like that. I ain't even gonna say I'm not gonna say that I'm working to get down to a certain weight or whatever. I just go to the gym. I mean, I go to the gym a few times a week. I walk my dog. I have weights and things like that here. But I'm just not a committable person when it comes to stuff like that because I don't really want to let myself down. Oof, that's the truth. I don't want to let myself down. So I just do it sporadically when I want to. I don't like being restricted from eating things or going out or drinking or whatever. I'm not there yet. So I'm not there yet. Am I healthy? Of course. I do go get my physicals. And I try to maintain a certain, you know, I know when I'm eating too much or getting overweight or whatever, and I know how to pull back, but, I don't know. I just don't want to be under that type of scrutiny. I just want my heart to be healthy, and I know what to do that. I want my cholesterol to be down. I know what to do to keep that down. I want my blood pressure to be low. I'm on a blood pressure pill. I've been on a blood pressure pill now for a year, and I check my blood pressure all the time, and it's been down. Like, I will go days without my blood pressure pill and check my blood pressure, and it will be down, because I've learned to remove stress. Things that I can't control, I don't even think about anymore. I'll just be like, I can't control it. Nothing. Better you than me, honey. That's what I say. Better you than me, because I know how to manage my stress now. So that's definitely helping with my blood pressure. So those internal silent deadly killers, or deadly, I shouldn't say that, deadly, those things, you know, I try to maintain and watch. Like I told y'all, I just had my colonoscopy beginning of the year, or in May. Was it in May? Either way, I gotta have another one in November. So I'm working on things like that. I know how to eat right, eat healthy, cook without salt, that type of stuff. I know how to do all that. Cut back on the sugar. I know how to do that. Anyway, I digress. But I say all that to say, I'm setting up my room so that I can vlog out of that room. I'm in the market for a day bed. I don't really want it to look like a bedroom, but I really want it to kind of be somewhat of a lounge type situation. Work on getting the lighting better, and just letting that be my area. For once I get dressed, I have a mirror, or I have a walk, you know, I can set up the camera where I can just be like, okay, this is my outfit, like every day before I go somewhere, if I'm going somewhere that's worth showing. Anyway, y'all, that's it. That's all for now. I gotta go. I'm getting ready to jump in the shower, or I might take me a nice hot bubble bath because I got time. But anyway, I'm about to get dressed and go meet the fellas and try to have a good time. Hopefully I'll bring my camera. I don't know if one of them is an actor, an up and coming actor, so maybe he won't mind being on camera, helping out my video. I don't know. But we'll just see, you know, I don't know. I'm gonna bring it just in case. I can get some good footage maybe, but if nothing more, just to show you where I'm going. Okay. All right. That's it. That's all. I'll talk to you soon. Mwah.